Quick little sound check. Can you guys hear me? I really do need to fix that bug. Figure it out. I'm gonna run some tests later tonight. Sorry about that, guys. Let me share my screen here. Everybody had a great weekend? Awesome. Yeah, always. It's rough when you're in trading, right? Let's just take a little quick 5 minute psychology class, if I can say it like that. When you're always trading and you're trying to get so locked in and you have very little experience, which is where I count myself. I don't believe I have tremendous experience here. Well, it's very hard to be 150% concentrated on trading and then having 2 to 3 days where you're just like, well, sorry, excuse me for my French, but sitting on your ass and doing nothing, right? So I really do try and fill my weekends with trading stuff, even if most mentors and most people will tell you you shouldn't, right? You should concentrate on taking time off, right? Taking a breather. I am not there. It might be best for you, but I know that for me personally, I need to remind myself of what I'm doing every day. It needs to be an everyday grind. So I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, that's how it is. But enough of that. Let's dive right in, right? So we have a very nice week, to me at least. We have three trading days. Thursday starting morning session, Monday same thing, starting Monday morning session, and Tuesday we have afternoon. Well, pretty much lunch news, which means I'm going to be looking for afternoon opportunities. So pretty straightforward with Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday as trading days. With days like these, I don't really have any other prediction than a classic sell week or possibly a classic buy week, right? With what we have going on in the world right now, in case you guys didn't know, Iran is doing some little fuckery with the Israel-Palestinian conflict. So we don't try and predict what happens during conditions where volatility are like that. I'm pretty sure that in 53 minutes here, when the market opens, we're going to see a huge fucking gap. That is, to me, that is 100%. We're going to see a big gap, probably a big gap down, and then we're going to spend like half the week, if not the whole week, just consolidating, trying to rebalance that gap. That is my simple prediction solely using time, right? To what is time? Time in economic news events. And of course, a lot of ICT traders don't talk about the fundamental aspect of things. But when you have important world events like these, right? It does affect your trading. It will. It will always affect your trading. It will affect the markets greatly, and you have to be ready for that. So for me, that looks like, as I said in the announcement I posted recently, you can go check if you didn't read it. I'm going to be solely scalping. I'm going to be looking to be in and out of trades in under an hour, and I'm not going to be leaving runners. And yes, I'm going to miss out on profits, but I can make money anytime, right? I want to concentrate on the highest probability situations, and holding for long in market conditions like what we are about to see very highly probably. Well, I don't want to be in there for long because holding for long is asking to get fucked by a one candle 500 points, right? We've seen it last week with the moves that it can create, right? Where finally in Q2 we're seeing 500, 400 handle ranges, daily ranges like it's nothing, right? And that's what we like to see. But enough of that rambling. Let's get straight into it. So we have just opened our first 2 weeks, I would say, of the April trading. Okay, and what do we want to see? Well, we want to see a development of the monthly candle. And as stated in our previous analysis, when I did the post-month analysis, what I expected, I'm looking for a retracement pretty deep in our range. So I had this fair value gap that I was looking at, because looking at a monthly, I'm not focusing on monthly ranges unless for very long-term movements, meaning years, right? Well, not even years, but just a year, for example. So what do I expect the next 12 monthly candles to be like? Well, I don't want to start thinking about that. I want to think about this monthly candle. And what I see right now are these inefficiencies. Those are the close ones, but I'm not anticipating that we're going to respect them right away because of the current world events, right? Hence why I don't want to be thinking long term. So just quickly on a monthly chart, I'm looking for a bearish candle. That is the idea I want to have. I have a monthly direction. Then I go down to a weekly chart and we dive in deeper, right? Just looking quickly here, we have some divergence right here. So let me just mark it out for you guys. When I say divergence, I mean SMT. So we have SMT between these highs on NASDAQ and ES, right? You can see it very clearly, hopefully. And then following that, what did we do? We inverted our weekly fair value gap that we were looking at as a potential draw. I think it was the week before last week, where we respected this order block, but now we're pushing back through it, telling you what, well, we're going to go target further liquidity. And that's very clear in our daily chart, so I won't push further on ES. But on NASDAQ, you have very clear levels of liquidity that we're aiming for. But again, as I just stated, looking at our daily chart is where we have the most insight, right? And this is, by the way, this should be our monthly candle, power of 3, all right? It's hidden for some reason right now. So I'm actually just going to put this back as 1 week and hide the 1 week because we haven't opened yet. This is our previous week's power of 3. These tools are very, very useful. By the way, I just did a quick post in general. Power of 3 tools by 2 Degrees are amazing. So I would highly recommend them for sure. Just mark that out correctly. There we go. So this is our current monthly range that we're trading within. We open right here. We've been consolidating pretty much while concentrating our expansion lower. And yes, right now you could say, oh, well, look, we have SMT at the lows, right? With ES taken out its lows while NASDAQ isn't. Yes. But if this was to hold, why would we go back down here, right? We would show support way beforehand is what I'm thinking. So of course we're going to be depending on the gap here, but what I'm going to be concentrating on is definitely bearishness. I'm going to be looking for a move down, and I'm going to be prioritizing setups that allow me to go down. But outside of that, there is low resistance liquidity at the highs, right? You can't deny. A lot of people like to call it trendline liquidity, but these failure swings right here are going to be low resistance through. So you got to be careful of that as well. So I'm just going to be considering shorts. I'm going to be looking to target this liquidity, these equal lows that we left behind as well. Here, let me just mark out, which is current monthly lows. And I'm going to be pushing even further to go target the liquidity under these lows right here, which are weekly failure swings right here. Those are going to be my big targets. And if we dive a little deeper and we looked at the IPDA ranges that I shared with you guys 2 weeks ago when we were looking at this high, well, pretty clearly, we're going to go target IPDA 20 lows, IPDA 40 lows right here. This is a clear objective. We have 60 lows way lower, which I'm not anticipating because, again, I don't like to think that far ahead. I believe that there's no point in me trying to anticipate the moves that will happen in 3 weeks because it will be clear in 3 weeks, right? There's no point in me going for that. But right here, again, we had SMT at these highs. Let me just mark it out for you guys. So we have this high on NASDAQ going lower right here with my little SMT blue lines. Let me put them a little bigger so you guys see it because we're going to have a lot of lipstick in a second. So there we go. We do have SMT at those highs, giving you good confluence that that is indeed going to stay the high, right? That is going to remain the high. And what I was saying earlier is, yes, we could go take our current monthly highs as long as we do remain into SMT, right? So we sweep these highs to go make it right here, but we don't break this high on ES. So just a quick invalidation level here. If we break this high on ES without SMT on NASDAQ showing me, well, we can't break this high on ES, but if we break these highs on NASDAQ and there's still SMT, then I'm gonna still be looking for shorts. But if we add the confluence by looking at ES, you'll see that those IPDA 40 lows, they are very, very juicy. And if we draw out our premium and discount right here, so I like to utilize OTE as well, just to be a slightly more precise. What do we have right here? We have a clear IPDA 40 low of our 40-day range that is within OTE of our last yearly expansion, right? What is that? That's the 5th of January. That's our January low. We have our yearly open right here. So open, high, and then we could expand for a low. But bringing into context, right? We're talking about the upcoming yearly range right now. If we bring into context that it's the elections, elections are usually a bullish year, sorry. I don't think we're going to expand all the way lower. So looking for retracement here for a continuation higher, but the true objective, as I stated, is going to be truly this low on NASDAQ, and that is what? That's 700 handles away. That is not far. We could do that this week or the next week, creating an April low, which I'm not going to dive deep into seasonal tendencies right now, but it would be in line with seasonal tendencies to create an April low before continuing higher. So that's definitely what I'm going to be looking for. And just as a low-hanging fruit objective on ES, it's going to be these equal lows right here. And see, just by doing that, have I analyzed the current institutional order flow of my daily chart? No. I'm just looking at where we are, what range are we in, time, and other things that affect the markets, like the current situation that we're going to be having in the world right now, where we're going to have a World War III fought in the Israel arena. Well, I'm getting ready for anything that might come. And that includes shitty price action. So what do I have? I have low-hanging fruit objectives, and I'm only scalping. I'm not leaving runners on. But if you compare specifically, I believe that I shared this about a month ago, quickly in a weekly outlook. But look at how these data ranges are compared to the range, right? I'm comparing the same range. The low is the same low, IPDA 60 low as well. Well, look at where equilibrium is relative to that IPDA 40. This one's at OTE. This one's above OTE, way closer to equilibrium. So what does that tell me? That tells me a lot about the current range, and that is what helps me anticipate future SMT. And right now we're too far away to keep talking about that, but once we get closer to these levels, I'll go more in depth about how we can get there. But I'm not anticipating ES to reach all the way down here, but I am expecting NASDAQ to. So I'm going to be looking for moves down on NASDAQ. Again, allowing for a sweep of these highs, the current monthly high, which is April 1st, maintaining SMT. Sorry for the quick pause here, but SMT has to hold, even if it creates SMT here, for that idea to be valid. So yes, this week I'm going to be looking for shorts. Because we have Monday as a trading day, so tomorrow, well, okay, here, I'll just give you guys my plan for tomorrow. So, of course, tomorrow I'm going to be looking at the regular things that I'm going to be looking for, right? Looking at New York Open, okay, how's London been? Where's our new week opening gap? Whatever. All my regular analysis stuff, which I won't go in depth about right now, could do that if there's interest in the future. I could bring you guys through my morning analysis routine, but I am going to be very, very picky. Why? Because as I just stated, I'm expecting that in the next 42 minutes, we're going to have a huge gap, a huge open. And what happens on Monday when we have a huge gap, it's either consolidation within or expansion away. So I'm going to be looking for that expansion away, and I'm going to wait until a third entry usually. So when I scale into positions, I have my first entry, which is usually my biggest position, and then I scale in. Well, right now I'm going to wait for a later entry that is higher probability, but allows me to make less money. But right now, how can I say this? I'm concentrating on consistency and not results. That is going to be the things. And I learned how to trade in what people call the shittiest markets ever, right? This last summer of 2023, and then you had September. We had a little 2 weeks that was pretty nice in September, October, November. People were calling it the shittiest price action they've ever seen, and I learned in there. So I'm used to these conditions. And for me, those conditions are very simple. All you have to concentrate on is winning the trades as much as you can. So how do you do that? You make less mistakes. How do you make less mistakes? Well, you follow your rules and you only take the highest probability trades. So for me, that's going to be concentrating on unicorns deep within a range. I'm not going to go in depth, but if there's example this week during the price action reviews, I'll definitely get into them. On that note, I will just clarify everything I just said because we've went from fundamental to technical to economic. We've went all over the place today. I'm concentrating on shorts. Monday's going to be a weird one. If you're a beginner, stay away. Monday, weird. We don't really know the direction, but expansion away from new week opening gap or consolidation within, which I won't be trading. Other than that, I'm either going to be looking for a long setup towards the current monthly highs on NASDAQ, but that is the less likely opportunity. The more likely is I'm going to be shorting all the way to those IPDA 40 lows, trading any retracements within at that time. I'm not expecting a reaction off of this order block after taking out liquidity other than to be a retracement. So if I am trying to be a little more precise, I don't know where we're going to open. We could open right here, right? I don't know. So that's definitely not going to be a very precise outlook with the drawing like that, but I would be anticipating a little something like this. That's what I'm going to be concentrating on trading, and allowing lower time frame SMT to dictate which one is the stronger or the weaker asset will probably leave me shorting ES. That will probably be the outcome. When I mean lower time frame SMT, especially intraday, I'm looking very clearly at the 15-minute and the 1 hour time frame. So my 1 hour is my intra-week. Those are all things ICT taught, by the way. People just don't listen. So during the week, I like to look at a 1 hour chart to give me insight into the weekly order flow. So that means the weekly highs and lows that I'm going to be predicting. Oh, well, this is my weekly high. I think this is going to stay up. I'm looking at 1 hour chart, order flow, and 1 hour SMT. Right now, I'm going to be concentrating on 15-minute. And this is a worse example because it's the Friday close. But see right here, there is currently SMT, which that's just not going to hold, right? That's just the close of a candle. But that would tell me that, okay, well, I'm looking for a setup on the ES, right? So I'm going to be prioritizing shorting the strongest asset because in these conditions, that is the highest probability move. One could stay and not move at all, while the other just expands very aggressively. Do you guys have any questions related to that analysis or actually anything else, right? It's going to be weird with the conditions we have, and I see some new faces in this chat right now, so it's lovely to see. But we're definitely going to have a weird week with us with as you can see right here, SMT on both sides of the range. So it's gonna be a weird one. ES trying to go down that much and NASDAQ trying to push away. We're gonna see where that gap leaves us, but we've been expecting a black swan event for the past, I want to say 3 weeks, might be actually 4 weeks that we've been talking about it in the weekly outlooks, and we finally have it. So I guess good but bad because, well, I don't like to get into politics here, but not the best right now for the current world situation. So, no answers means no questions. I'm guessing. All right. Well, pretty straightforward, guys. Gonna let Emil type. I see he's typing. No questions, boss. All right. I like that. I like that. But if you guys have any questions about anything in the future, especially for the new people that are going to be watching this on YouTube and everything, just come join us, right? I'm here. I'm ready to answer questions, and I'm glad to. I see a Piz typing. New face here. Glad to have you with us, boss. All right. Well, on that note, I wish you all good luck trading tomorrow. I'm going to be in here. I'm going to be in chat sharing setups that I take if I do take any. But as I said, we're going to be having a weird week, probably a huge gap, so let's leave it for the oldies, all right? Have a great end of the day, guys, and good luck trading on Monday. See ya.